And we're live. And everybody's in the wrong position. Hey, we're off to a rip-roaring start. There we go. One sec. Here we go.
Look
Everybody's in
at
the right
me.
place now.
I'm Aliza now.
Ah, Aliza.
Aliza, I'm so sorry.
How
Oh,
can we
I realized
start
also
like
that
that?
I know, right?
Oh.
You know what? I'll see myself out. I already fucked this
We
up.
got it. Redo.
Redo. Look at me. I'm Aliza now. There it is.
Hey.
I just realized that I had the chat still set to emote only mode and subscriber only mode after we got hate rated the other day.
Oh dear.
Oh, that still happened? Jesus Christ. It's been like a year now?
At
Yeah.
least.
And Twitch still ain't said nothing about these haters.
Okay, so in Twitch's defense, they've got a new mode. It's called Shield mode, and you just click it, and it shuts everything down.
Oh, that's good.
And it turns off new followers. So if you have that influx of bot followers, it stops them from.
Yeah, that feels like treating the symptom.
Oh, of
not
course.
not the problem.
It is,
but okay.
but it was actually incredibly helpful the other day because it was in the middle of Darby and I had a show, and we had to stop and turn off the stream, which is until I could fix the problem. And Shield mode helped quite a bit. Which, I mean, it's good that they're giving us tools.
Yeah.
I guess. And on that note, hello everybody! Welcome
Hello.
to the new episode and season, I believe, of Morning Ritual. Yes, that's right. We have some sort of seasonal structure. I just don't know what it is yet. I'm one of your hosts.
When I figure it out, I'll let you know.
I go by he, they. You know who I am, and that's my partner and co-host, Anita.
Yeah, I'm Anita. My pronouns are she, they, and I'm your other host for this. And we've got an amazing guest today.
Got the best guest!
Yes. Aliza, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Hi, I'm Aliza Pearl. I do games and writing and actings.
Yeah, heck yeah.
And I'm very much awake.
This is my favorite part of the show because at the beginning we're so sleepy, and then by the end of it we're just all yelling about stuff. So, yes, I kind of wanted to. That's kind of one of the things I want to get in early with talking to you about, which is you do a lot of acting. Like I've seen you do TV acting, stage acting, improv, and I'm just off the gate. I have to ask: do you have a favorite medium to do your acting in? Like, do you prefer stage more than TV, or do you prefer improv? I'm very curious about that.
My God, wow, that is hard to answer because I love all three of those different mediums of acting, and they bring out different things in me. And they also, like, improv to me is a really good basis and foundation for the other two. And so I guess maybe I guess improv would be my favorite to tap into, because improv, you can just be anywhere and do improv. We call it bits in real life. Doing a bit, that's improv, so that's a muscle you can always flex, and then you can bring that to the other mediums, to the stage, to the screen.
That's incredibly cool. Like, it's always funny because I see my friends pop up in weird places now because you guys are doing such awesome stuff. I'm subscribed to Broadway in Chicago, and there was I saw a picture of you, and you guys were asking for votes on the play that you were in, and I was just like,
oh. I didn't even know he popped up there.
Yeah, oh yeah. So the Broadway in brand, they just last all their stuff to all their different affiliates, and one of them came across my Facebook, and I was just like, oh, I know.
Oh my God.
I get way too excited when I spot my friends and stuff. Oh, so good. I just thought that was cool. Like, I miss play acting so much, but I can't imagine doing it on the professional level that you're doing it at, which is just so cool.
Thank you. Yeah, I feel #blessed. I've been at it for a while, and yeah, I'm at a point where I'm getting to just do creative stuff for my living right now, which is
That's really cool.
it took a while to get here. I don't want people to think it was easy or quick for me, but I'm glad to be where I'm at, and just keep going at it and see where I get to.
Heck yeah. So does your professional acting inform your TTRPG decisions and choices that you make with your characters?
Yeah, like I said before, I think improv is the thing that ties everything I do together. And so, in a way, yes, like my improv training and my improv experience definitely is like I directly pull from that for TTRPGs, whether I'm a player at the table or running the game. So, absolutely, improv makes a big impact on my gaming.
Yeah, I always tell everybody just try out an improv class. It'll feel cringe, but I promise it's worth it.
Mhm. Especially the people who are like, "Oh my God, I would be so terrified. I couldn't do it." They're the ones who the most need to try improv, I think.
They're the ones that, like, in my experience, have done the best with it. Like the
Yeah.
kid that they at like day one, they're like in the corner. Like by the second or third class, they're the one leading the scenes. It's always great to
You need
see.
to
Mhm.
embrace the cringe, I think.
Yeah. Hmm.
Oh, so I, we also have to talk about your experience in the tabletop space, because that's just as impressive. You've been on some really just killer shows. I believe you were with Geek and Sentry for a while there as well, which is just like I, that you kind of have to speak about GS. Or I know most of me and my friends talk about that with like revered air. Like we miss those times. Can you tell us what that experience was like?
Oh my God. Well, yeah, GNS was my first real introduction to long form TTRPG campaigns. Like I had played a little bit of D&D. I had only just found out what D&D was like a year or two before I started playing at GNS. And so I was super new to not only GNS but also like the whole gaming world in a way, or at least tabletop gaming world. And so GNS was my intro to it. It's where I met some of my like lovely closest friends. A lot of us who were there during that era, that like 2015, 16 through 2019, we call it either like TTRPG camp or TTRPG grad school because I think a lot of us have gone on to continue doing TTRPGs and other things, of course. Like Jason
Mhm.
Charles Miller was already a musician, just like I was an actor before Geek and Sundry, but we both have continued in our creative pursuits in addition to our gaming pursuits. And like Becca Scott has her own amazing channel, The Good Time Society. And
Yeah.
there's just like so many. And Eric Campbell and Sam and I are we are the producers of the Stream Punks that came entirely out of Geek and Sundry, our games that we played there together. So it definitely, yeah, it was like a starting point for a lot of us, whether or not it was like people's first time gaming, because a lot of people had already, like Eric had been playing for a long time before he started at Geek and Sundry. But it was a starting point for all of us, like for this like next phase of our gaming lives.
In like creating your own channel is not easy. Like I just and I just want people to appreciate the work that you guys have put into Stream Punks, because I am a big fan.
Thank you.
And I've been having a blast playing with you guys, but behind the scenes, I just want everybody to realize there's just so much work being done so efficiently, and one of the things that I've noticed with the TTRPG community is like people will put on the nice face very early, but it doesn't always stay.
Mm.
But I mean, the stream punks have remained just the most genuine and sweet people.
And this the community is behind the stream punks is also one of like the most
Yeah.
caring, loving, and passionate communities that I've come across. Just
Oh
from
my
the
God.
games that I've played with y'all.
And I want to say we adore both of you. Like we have loved having both of you be a part of the Stream Punks. So thank you for joining us.
Aww,
We plan, yes.
Every
We want
week
you
I'm
both
like,
back.
thank you.
every week I'm like, they do know that they picked me, right? No, but seriously, like a lot of work does happen behind the scenes, and you're responsible for no small part of it. So like, just kudos to doing all your acting, doing all the actual play stuff, and then like helping run a community on the side.
Thank you. Oh,
I'm
I also
tired for you.
I know. Yo, I don't know. Yeah. I don't know. I
It's a
don't
lot of
know
work.
how much stuff I do is ridiculous. But also just to shout out our community at Stream Punks because yeah, they keep us going. They're so supportive and loving. And also I love that our community is so welcoming too of new
Yeah.
new people that we bring to the table and new viewers. Like I sometimes will hop into chat during our games and there are folks like the Pillow Brigade. No,
Hello, Fort.
Pillow Fort, the Pillow Fort crew, who are like literally someone jumps in chat and they're like, "Here's a pillow. You are welcome. This is what we're doing." Like, just that's so lovely.
It is emotional. Make sure the status of the Pillow Fort, Pillow Fort shields
Yeah.
are holding.
My God, just like we have such a great community. So
I
thankful
do-
for them.
I do have to say that your community is one of like the Pillow Fort community is one of the very few that I've seen when somebody new comes in and they go, "Hey, what's going on?" Someone actually responds with the summary of what's going on. Like every time I see that, I'm like, "That's incredible."
It's so lovely. Such a simple thing to do that actually makes these spaces more welcome. So simple.
Oh, it's just and we could use a little bit more of that kind of positivity in this space, I think, for sure.
Yeah.
So I have to ask, do you have like a favorite actual play moment? Like, is there like a scene or a moment in a game that like you remember most fondly?
Ooh. Well, I'm a very visual person in terms of like I visualize everything that's happening in games. And so some of my favorite moments are the ones that I remember the most vividly. Like I can see them. Like so in Shield of Tomorrow, people who watch that will probably also remember this moment, which was the Borg FedEx delivery. That's the best way to describe it. I can vividly remember us going into the cargo bay and there's this box and we open it up and find out it's a Borg. So that, oh my God, my character Talon in Shield of Tomorrow also had just like, she was 3/4 Vulcan and 1/4 Bajoran, and she was kind of exploring her Bajoran heritage, but still very Vulcan. And at one point, she flips out, and all of her repressed emotions just go out the window, and she just goes on a rampage. That was a favorite moment. And what was fun about that was just like me as a player being like, "Oh shit, I think this is about to happen." Like, I don't want to stop this. I think this is going to like trigger this character so much that it's just gonna happen. And then I endangered sweet Dr. Throlo, played by Amy Dallin, and we had a little PvP. Like, we just let the moment play out. And that was one of my favorites.
Oh, I love that kind of stuff. When things go off the rails, that's when you get really good character moments, I feel.
Oh yeah. Like so many, that's just from Shield of Tomorrow. There's so many from all the games I've played with Streampunks, and I mean, yeah, there's a lot, but that's just a couple.
I mean, listen, I have to tell you, Anita's a big fan of Shield of Tomorrow.
Oh my God, awesome!
That's the
Like,
Shielded Tomorrow is one of the reasons that I got into actual plays.
I love
Yeah.
it.
My friend Stacy was like, I want to do a Star Trek Adventures campaign because of Shield of Tomorrow. I started watching it and got hooked, and we decided we'd try and podcast it. It didn't go far, didn't get past it because podcast editing is a lot of work, y'all.
Oh yeah,
Um,
totally.
and but from that, I wound up getting like a webcam and a microphone, and I joined a couple actual plays online.
Amazing. That's so awesome. I love that.
That's my TTRPG backstory.
Yes.
so it all comes around, which is like really, really interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, I mean, going back to like the discussion of GNS, like I remember when GNS went away, I was like, what happens now? And I feel like there's been just such a wellspring of amazing content from the alumni that it's just like it's very interesting that now you guys are playing with a lot of people that you inspired to play in the first place. That's gotta be pretty kind of cool.
It's amazing. It's really amazing. Like, yeah. It's very yeah, it's like I mean, I think that's what I love about gaming too, like TTRPGs in particular. They're infectious. Like once you start playing and you can totally play solo games, those exist.
Mhm.
Uh but there's something about like group games, the collaborative nature and just sharing that in that fun and storytelling with people, that's infectious and it's like a snowball. So like once you start playing, other people kind of get collected and then you have your own snowball and more people will collect because of your snowball. It's yeah, it's really lovely.
It's very heartening to feel that you can actually see and you can measure that impact, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm sure you, the two of you with this channel and this show and all the games you two do are now bringing other people on to gaming. So it just continues.
I hope so. you know, one looks at somebody like Morshadi, who's a crunch crew, and then I have my doubts. I'm just kidding,
Ah,
but I'm just kidding. But so I kind of just because of my own curiosity, like you've been on like TV shows, like full on, like I believe you were on NCIS, which I told my mom, and she was very impressed.
oh, thanks,
Uh,
mom.
so I have to ask, like, what's it like to just kind of walk into a production that's already like, you know, NCIS is not new, so it's just like
Mhm.
everybody has their habits, and you're kind of coming in as the new person. Like, is that a little bit intimidating?
Oh yeah, it definitely can be. I think it's always intimidating for me when I like book a TV job and then I have to do the TV job. I'm like, this is totally what I want to do, but also I'm terrified. Like showing up on set and like, am I gonna go the right way? Am I gonna like dress the right all that I get a lot of social anxiety about that. But
You couldn't
NCIS
tell.
Oh, well, I'm glad. And also, NCIS LA is number one, it's a well-oiled machine. They've been doing it for 14 seasons now. And they were just so chill and kind and professional. They just have their shit together. Can I say shit? Can I curse on this show?
Absolutely.
Yes,
Oh,
Okay.
absolutely.
absolutely.
They have their shit together. They were also just very warm and welcoming. Like it didn't feel I never felt with any of the actors that I worked with, there was a diva thing. I shouldn't talk to them. Like Eric Christian Olsen was actually very open and warm and like cool
That's
with the
good
two
to
of us
hear.
guest stars with him. It was like it was so great. It definitely put me at ease.
Oh, that's so
Aw.
cool to hear. Like, do you have a dream list of shows that you want to be on?
Oh my god. I want to go back on NCIS LA because my character did not die. Thank you very much. Still alive somewhere out there hammering things and surfing and eating burritos. So I want to know if she got her burritos. Like we never got closure on my storyline, you know? Um, So definitely want to go back on that show.
Fund that. I want it in CIS Burrito Quest. Make it
Everyone
happen.
said that. It's so funny. Like, when it's aired, I didn't know how people would react to my character, but that was the big thing. Like, did she get her burritos?
They needed to film an after credit scene, like a shawarma scene
like
in
the Avengers. Yeah,
just
exactly.
burritos.
Us sitting on the back steps of his house that I've just rebuilt for him, eating burritos. There it is. But yeah, NCIS LA. You know what's fun is that procedural shows are the reason why like a lot of actors, especially New York actors, are like known for having Law and Order as one of their first credits is because procedurals like churn through actors, not in a bad way, but just because like there's so many episodes and so much story to tell.
It's the nature of the format.
Exactly. They just need a lot of actors. So this is my first procedural, and I would love to be on other procedurals. I've been watching, I mean, y'all know I love sci-fi, so literally any sci-fi show. Also,
you would
any
kill
fantasy
so hard.
show. I would love to play a powerful witch. My two things are space captain or space, lieutenant, whatever, and powerful witch. Those are my two like goals. And then anything else, great. Yeah, anything else, great. But like those two, I definitely want to like have some like awesome thing under my belt under those two buckets.
I mean, who wouldn't want to be a powerful witch?
Right? Oh my God. Yes.
I just watched Stardust last night, and that's still fresh in my mind.
What is Stardust?
It's a movie based off of the Neil Gaiman book.
Oh.
And it's got Charlie Cox, Gwyneth Paltrow, Robert De Niro, and I think it was 2015?
I think that's Claire.
Or Claire
that's
Danes.
Claire Danes.
Claire Danes. My brain didn't work.
Yeah,
for some reason.
Claire Danes plays a star
that fell from
in
the
human
heavens.
form.
Oh, I have never heard of this.
It's really good. It's really good.
It's a very good
Robert
movie.
De Niro steals the movie.
He really does. As Captain
Robert
Shakespeare.
Yeah, Robert De Niro and Michelle Pfeiffer kill it in that movie.
Ooh, okay, I gotta watch that.
Yeah, it's on.
It's on what? Wait.
It's on HBO Max. Henry Cavill's in it too.
Great. Awesome. Another thing. Wait, I forgot what I was gonna say. Oh, another thing I would love to do is be in the lead in a holiday rom-com movie.
Yes.
Please.
Are you gonna be that person that needs to be reminded of what the spirit of Christmas is by the out of town stranger?
She's just so busy, and her work just never lets up. I don't know if I can come home for work for the holidays, Mom. Just work is crazy. And then she goes home. She's mad about it. She's wearing like a business suit, of course. And then her childhood sweetheart walks in, and he looks really good, and she's like, "Oh no!"
And he does nothing but sell Christmas trees.
He sells Christmas trees.
That's
He's a hot lumberjack. Yes.
He's a lumberjack. Oh yeah. He's also secretly Santa Claus.
Ooh, yeah. I like it. Fund it.
Mm-hmm. There we go.
I would love to see you in Star Trek. I would love to see you in Discovery. Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Yes, you and Michael would be just
Oh my God. I would love. Yo, that's a good point. We haven't even talked about the Star Trek roles. Okay. So Discovery, I would love to be like some type of high-powered kind of frenemy or nemesis of Michael Burnham. You know what I'm saying? Like, yup.
Manifest this.
Yes. That.
What's this so bad?
Yes. Picard, I would play anything. There was a new Section 31 show coming out. I don't know. I think
it still is.
Yeah, I think maybe it started back up again. I'm not sure.
They did start it back up again, yeah.
So that's putting it out there. I would love to be a series regular.
Oh, that would be
Section
so
31.
That would be so cool.
Any species.
Oh, hell yeah.
Just putting it out there. I'm really good at Vulcans and Klingons and humans, of course. Or a new species. Who knows?
That's a really good question that, I never allow myself to think about because I'm not an actor, but like if you could be on a Star Trek show and choose your alien race, What would you choose? That's a good. Ooh.
Yeah. Well, part of me also is like, yes, I would love to be a series regular on a Star Trek show, but if I only if I got to be a guest star, I would love to be like a Jeffrey Combs or like
Yes.
Kenneth Mitchell and get to come back and play multiple different characters and species. That would be super dope. Super
You,
dope.
you know what? I'm taking all these ideas and we're going to mix them together. I want you to be in a Star Trek rom-com with a space lumberjack that needs to remind you
Oh my
of the
God.
spirit of Federation Christmas.
Oh my God. Let's do it. I
My
love
brain
it.
is like now churning through possible titles for this.
Right. First Contact Day.
A Star Trek through the holidays.
Trek.
Trek
Trek
through the
the
holidays.
halls.
Trek the
Trek the
halls.
halls. Come on, we're giving you guys gold here. Let's make it happen.
It's you'll see it coming to Paramount Plus.
Trek the halls. The Star
Trek the
Trek
halls.
Christmas
Rom-com.
special
Rom-com musical. Rom-com
Uh,
holiday musical.
musical.
so another place that I see a lot of that churns over actors, I think in the same way as procedurals is soap operas.
Oh,
Have you
yeah.
ever expressed any interest in trying that out? Me personally, I don't think I could do it with a straight face.
I had a small speaking role on Days of Our Lives several years ago. And that was another one where you show up and it's a well-oiled machine and just like everyone is just boop, boop, doing their work and just like, hey, how you doing? Yeah, here's your room, blah, blah, blah. So that was like really fun to work on. I remember it being very cold in their studio, weirdly. It was like a freaking refrigerator, but that's whatever, that's random. So yes, I would be down to, oh my God, it would be very fun. Again, I would love to play, I like playing high powered roles.
Yeah.
I also especially love playing like the sweet, maybe mousy lady who ends up being very powerful underneath, either like through deception or just she doesn't know her potential and she finds it throughout the story. Like those are kind of my sweet spots of what I like to play.
Heck yeah.
Is there anything that you don't like to play? Like, I know that's a silly question, but like, is there anything that you're like, I don't love this? Like,
Yeah, there are. I'm from Newark, New Jersey. I grew up in the hood, capital letters. And so like I have that in me, but I never get cast as those roles. So I kind of, whenever it comes up, I'm like, ugh, great. Now I get to feel insufficient and not black enough again. So I kind of hate those kinds of roles.
yeah.
When I can bring myself to it and play it the way Aliza would play it, that feels good. But I never get cast when I do that. So that's kind of annoying.
I've only ever played a role that I hated once.
What was that?
It was Fences.
Which one? The son?
The son. Yeah,
Yeah.
I hated it.
Yeah.
So I'm like, that's got to be rough, like on a professional level. But like, you're like a full on SAG like member, and I have, and that's like a goal that I know that a lot of people aspire to. What was that like? Once you got that, like once you hit that milestone?
Yeah, so I have been in LA for several years, and I actually got my SAG card through doing background on commercials. Funny enough. Yeah. There's this company in LA where it's a casting company and they have a collection of actors who they always bring back for commercial background. And it can be very lucrative. But you're on set for like 12 to 16 hours, you're making overtime, and you're just walking back and forth in the scene. So like there's probably like a solid 5-year period of commercials that you could see. Maybe you would see like the back of my head in all these like Toyota commercials and shit. And that got me my SAG card.
That's gonna be the game now. Like, just go through commercials to see if we can find you.
Go on YouTube, like 2010, 2010 commercials, and you can just like try to find me.
That's incredibly cool. So we have standard questions that we ask everybody, and I think now's time for the one that hurts me the most, or could potentially hurt me the most.
Oh no!
So listen, there is a war going on in the TTRPG space between people who see dice as the forbidden candies.
I thought you okay.
Yes, they see dice as forbidden candies to be put in their mouth and crunched, and that's just where they chew them. And then there are those of us who think that that's a choking hazard. It's bad for your teeth, and you should not do it. So we need to know what side of the fence do you sit on in this war? Do you crunch your dice, or are you a member of Stop the Crunch?
I say stop the crunch. Like, listen, we're all adults. Not all of us. Some people are not adults.
If you're watching this, you better be a goddamn adult. I'm gonna have a talk with your parents.
If you're not an adult, and you're watching this, I don't know what to tell you. But adults, we can make our own choices and stuff, and people have weird fixations and stuff. But like, especially because edible dice exist, like you can find candies that are shaped like dice.
Right.
Do that. Like, find those, buy those, eat those, crunch those. But actual dice, it's a choking hazard, and it'll mess up your teeth. So no. And also, like, you're messing up, even if you don't care about your own teeth and your potential choking to death, do you want teeth mark on your beautiful dice?
Thank you. That's what I'm saying. And the purpose of dice are to be shared. I don't want your chewed up in your mouth dice that I know you didn't wash.
No,
it's gross. Ugh.
Yeah, it's gross. I never even thought about it that way. Ew. It's like when people have a really chewed up pen, and you're like, oh, thank you.
Ooh, let me just write my name real quick. Okay, listen, we asked this question of everybody. There is technically a third side of the party, which is crunch responsibly, but those are cowards who are too afraid to make a choice.
Is crunch responsibly like, listen, you do you, crunch your dice, but don't die? Is that the take?
Okay, so
kind of,
we advocate for safe crunching of dice. Again, candy dice exist. There are sensory toys that are silicone that you can chew on that look like polyhedrals. Okay. We advocate for safe alternatives.
Okay.
And then there's, of course, people that believe that you should let them die.
Oh my god.
But, you know, the pun of die. And the people that think you should just swallow your dice whole.
The pun of die. Oh my god.
Disgusting. So that's what we've been dealing with this show.
This is intense. This is an intense war, y'all.
I'm telling you. Well, it's gross. It's gross. People be on TikTok just putting handfuls of dice in their mouth. It's disgusting.
I've never seen that, and I hope I never see that. My God.
I'm also going to say that if you see that on your For You page, Noir, it's for you. The algorithm told you that you wanted to see it.
No, it's not the algorithm. It's people who've chosen to crush their dice sending me these DMs. Sending these TikToks to me and then DMs.
I'm just going to give you what you want to engage with.
I have a question related. Are you aware of the Council of Unusual Foods on Twitter?
No.
Unofficial name.
Oh, is that like the cuneiforms that look like Weetabix?
No. It is an unofficial gathering of Twitterers, including myself, Alicia Marie, Kawhi Knott, Lauren Oboe, and B. Dave Walters. And it usually starts with B. Dave tweeting the 4 or 5 of us some weird food. I don't know how it began. I think it was just like we all separately love to tweet about weird foods. And then we all just started doing it together. And so we have now this council, and we tweet about unusual foods. And now it has progressed to Lauren Obo doing like tasting videos, taste test videos of weird foods. And Lauren did one for the latest thing on our agenda as the Council of Unusual Foods was to discuss strange flavored candy canes. You have your mac and cheese candy cane. You have your ketchup flavored candy cane, roast beef, sardines, Caesar salad, I think was the first one we became aware of on the council. And then we found out about the others. So, and of course the council is not split. I think we have a good representation. So like Alicia, Lauren, and maybe Kawhi are more open and accepting of these weird foods. I'm the swing vote, and then B Dave is staunchly against the weird foods.
You know, B Dave has never let me down. When we had B Dave here, and I asked him the question, he was like, "Absolutely not. Crotchety is disgusting. We don't do that." So I'm not surprised. Shout out to a real one.
Yeah, he is wise. He is wise.
I've had a pickle candy cane.
Oh yeah, pickle ones. How was that?
It's disgusting.
Did it taste more like dill or just salty water, kind of?
It tasted like a dill pickle. Huh. It tasted like a dill pickle and a candy cane. Like the green parts, all dill. The white parts, all peppermint.
Oh, gross. No. Oh, no. Oh, no.
No.
And here's the thing. My cousin gave it to me. Didn't tell me what it was. So I'm thinking, oh, it's a green apple.
Oh no!
Candy cane.
Or like a spearmint at least.
Yeah.
Right. And so I go hog in, fully expecting green apple, which is my favorite candy flavor, and I get pickle, and I can't.
Did you
tell
crunch
you
it?
What? Yeah. Yeah, I did, and like my brain couldn't put it together because I'm like, there's no way. Like I thought I got a bad candy cane. Yeah. I thought it's spoiled. Like you gave me a rotten candy cane. No, it's pickle. You like it?
Wow.
I got close to a murder that day.
Yeah, that's devious.
Oh, so here's another question that I have for you in regards to the acting, and I hope you don't mind me asking so many questions about that. It's just something that I think is so cool, so I have tons of questions about it. Could you ever see yourself like doing something could you ever see yourself doing something that like a MCU type contract where you had to agree to be one character for like 6 or 7 years? Because I look at that sort of thing in the acting world and I'm like, that's a commitment.
Mm-hmm. Hell yeah, I could. Yes.
Give me that money.
I mean, yeah, besides it being good monies, getting to live in a character like that and see them grow and evolve. Hopefully, getting to see them grow and evolve. Absolutely. I would love that.
If you could choose the superhero to play, who would you want to be?
Oh goodness. I early on in the MCU was like, oh hey, okay, y'all casting black girls. Okay. So before Black Panther came out, I was like, is her name Monica Devereaux? Who's that lady?
Monica Monroe. Rambeau. Yeah.
Not Monica Rambeau. No. She's okay. So she's in some of the Black Panther comics, like the early 90s one. Not early 90s, but the earlier ones from the 90s. And she was like a jazz singer. She and Black Panther had a thing for a little bit. She wasn't a superhero though. She was just like a supporting character. That character, I was like, I could see myself playing that like jazz character kind of thing. Like, I need to look up the name of that character. I thought it was Monica something, but no, Monica Rambeau. No, yeah. I think I'm confusing the names. So there was that character.
Oh no, you're right, Monica Lynn.
Monica Lynn. There it is.
Oh my God, you're a dead ringer for Monica Lynn.
Thank you, MCU. Looking it up now. MCU, if you would like to introduce this character, I'm available. Just saying.
Yeah,
Let's see. Did she become a superhero? Because you know how like Pepper Potts, like people can
Yeah.
just start off normal, then become, superheroes. Let's see. Yeah, she was in New York. Yeah, I really like this character. She's really cool. So maybe someday I get to play her. But then like another, oh my God. Like I said, I want to play a powerful witch. Is it called The Coven of Chaos? The new show with
the Agatha Christie.
Agatha.
I think they're just calling it.
Agatha what's
Yeah, it's just called Agatha Harkness.
Agatha Harkness. Okay, that show I would love to like play a witch on, and maybe it would be a new character to the MCU, maybe not a classic one. I also would love to play an X-Man, even though we don't know what's going on with X-Men right now.
nobody
Oh.
knows?
There's a lot of very cool X-Men that I would
Heck yeah.
Heck yeah.
I would kill for you to be in the MCU, to be quite honest.
Yes, please.
Just
yes,
so I can be like, yes, I know. I can't tell you how excited I get when I see my friends doing cool shit. Like, oh, that would be stellar. But now comes our second question that we ask everyone, and this is the one that usually gets people to go, "Ooh, I hate you." If you could sit at a table with any 5 people that are alive right now, you get to choose the game that you're playing and who's the GM. Who you picking?
Y'all are gonna okay. Okay. I know the answer already immediately.
Oh, heck yeah. Usually that's the one people struggle with.
Nope. I've thought about this. I have been wanting to run a game for the Real Housewives of Atlanta.
Yes! Yes! This is the only right answer.
Whatever game inspires them. I would talk to them, be like, hey ladies, what's your favorite like movie? Do you like fantasy? Do you like sci-fi? Do you like horror? What do we want to do here? Do you like mystery? I would like literally, I want to lovingly guide the Real Housewives of Atlanta through a TTRPG game. That's the answer.
For it to be like a murder mystery?
They would, right? I feel like they would excel at this, and they would just be so good at TTRPGs.
Honestly, I see that doing extraordinarily well if somebody would actually make that happen.
Yeah. I thought about just like messaging Candy Burris and be like, hey lady, I love you. Do you want to play some games?
And keep the confessional. Please keep the. Could you imagine the pettiness that would happen at that table?
Oh my God.
I kind of just want a confessional for like TTRPGs now. Like, I just want that side booth whenever we're like in a game. It's like just walk away and do an interview real quick, and then come back to the table.
Just being like, I actually rolled a 20 on the perceptions, but I'm not gonna tell these bitches anything.
Oh, the DM confessional would be very fun. Oh my God. Can you imagine all the secrets?
This is the best thing. Like, because
listen, I know she's fudging her rolls, but I'm not gonna say anything. I'm waiting for the DM to catch on.
Another good idea for the paladin. Oh, okay. Yes, that's the best answer. That is the best answer we've ever got to that. Usually a lot of people pick like The Rock or like, Vin Diesel because, he's got a history with that. But yeah, no, I prefer this answer.
DM, I'm not going to tell them, but I have absolutely no plan right now.
Oh, yep. God. I hate how much I actually love the Housewives series.
Me too. Yeah. I've gotten totally sucked into it.
They get so petty. They get so mad over the smallest things.
The stupidest things.
Oh, you were talking to my husband. She just said hello.
Literally, the Real Housewives of Potomac stuff that's happening right now is like, it's just, It just doesn't. It's so dumb. It's so dumb. And I don't even have favorites on that show. I think they're all kind of amazing and dumb at the same time. Like I love them, but they're also really dumb. I'm like, what are you doing? All of you. Why are you on this show? But then I watch it. So it's like it's just it's a weird
They,
conundrum.
yeah, man, I miss really bad reality TV shows. Like I've gone back and started watching some of the old MTV
Oh my
reality
God.
shows,
Oh,
Room
those are so
Raiders,
fun.
Next, Parental
Next.
Control, Date My Mom.
Oh my God. So fun.
Some of that stuff didn't age well for
A lot
sure.
of it
No,
didn't age
yeah.
well.
Uh-huh.
Oh god.
You know, I was watching what was it? What was the one? Because I got into it because of Alone. I love Alone, the one that's like people go out into the woods and they have to survive to win money, and
Yeah.
whoever is like last person standing. And then Alone got me Hulu algorithm suggestions of Naked and Afraid. That's what it's called.
Yeah.
Yes.
I had never watched that when it was on because I think it's from like the 2000s, right? Like
Mhm.
Yep.
mid 2000s. I had never watched it when it was on, but I started watching it because of Alone. And it's like, ooh, all of these dudes are really sexist. Like, what happened here?
There's so much of it in these old shows. Like like there's one called Beauty and the Geek, and it is so bad.
Oh
It
no.
is so bad. Like
It's very overtly sexist.
Oh no.
Not
yeah,
even
it's
subtle.
Is it like the movie Weird Science? Because that was very sexist.
so it's the concept behind Beauty and the Geek is like one of these geeks is like a rich guy or something, but the rest of them are just dork ass losers, and so
Oh
these
my.
really hot ladies are like dating the geeks to try and find the rich one, and it's
Ew,
just
ew, ew. Ew. Wait, is that what era is that from? Like the
that's
2000s?
that's early 2000s.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
That's about
Yeah,
right.
because now it would be like, which one of these geeks is not rich?
Like
Because
it's really bad. Like I think the worst one though, and I'm pretty sure some of y'all might remember this, is the Swan.
Oh no.
I can already see some makeover shit.
It's like
It's
plastic surgery.
Oh no.
yeah, so a bunch of ladies are in a competition to be the Swan, and whoever wins gets plastic surgery and a makeover.
Oh
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah. And like the whole time it's just the show and the narrator and the judges just body shaming. It's just bad.
Oh.
It's like how did
Yuck.
this air? How did this like they're talking about people's bodies like I can really see how a rhinoplasty could improve this. Like, bro, you you don't know. No. Yeah, so
Mm-mm.
that's the worst one by far, in my
Wow.
opinion.
Wow.
Uh
Reality TV has really revolutionized entertainment, hasn't it? Not in a
it
great way.
not in a great way. It killed MTV. Like it
Yeah.
just straight up killed MTV. But yeah, it's been a mess. It's it's weird being old enough to remember the birth of reality TV and
Hmm.
see where it is now. It's really a trip.
It's
It's
wild.
really a trip. Oh
And to think, yeah, it's a new, basically not a new genre, because they had technically, okay, I did research on this for a writing job. Um, it, there were reality shows in the 60s, but it was like hidden camera, that kind of thing, you know?
Mm-hmm.
That
Like
was like
candid
the
camera.
earliest. Yeah,
yeah.
literally candid camera. Yeah. That was like one of the earliest iterations of a reality show. And then I think in the 80s, there was one show that was following the life of a family. So, and then that was a
Yeah.
blip, though. It didn't take off back then, that genre. And then come late 90s, 2000s, The Real World and The Hoarders and Survivor and all those just kind of, and The Bachelor, all those just like expanded the genre into what we know it is today.
Yeah, I mean it's to the point where all of your favorite sports have their own reality TV shows attached to them, which is something that I I didn't realize until I took a look at it. The UFC had the Ultimate Fighter, football had,
Mhm.
Hard Knocks. It's just reality TV is here to stay. I mean,
Oh yeah.
because it's cheap to make apparently. I don't know. I'm
Mhm.
Do you
uh
Yes.
do you think that reality TV, like the causation of reality TV, like directly translates into viewership for TTRPGs? Because what TTRPGs are is just real
Mm.
people sitting around playing games.
I think they could be. I don't think we've unlocked the connector yet in
yeah.
terms of audience. But obviously, a lot of TTRPG folks, when I started watching Real Housewives, the first one I watched was Atlanta, and I watched that all the way through. When I first started tweeting about it, I was like, "Pff, my followers are all like gamers and space nerds. Like, no one's gonna get care that I'm tweeting about Real Housewives." But actually, people like also are watching them secretly. So I think we watched them, but they don't watch us yet. Like reality nerds
Mm.
don't watch TTRPG stuff yet. But again, if say Aliza runs the Real Housewives of Atlanta in a
Let's make it
game,
happen.
know what I'm saying? Know what I'm saying? Like,
I I
Actual plays a
honestly
reality show starring imaginary people. Thank you, Commander Pulsar.
I was
Yeah,
just about to say, like, I think reality TV shows have taught us to watch regular people doing regular things,
right,
and actual plays give you the benefit of being able to watch real people doing a thing, but you're also still getting a narrative. Like
right.
I like people tune into Critical Role to watch, you know, Travis and the gang just as much as they're coming to watch the characters they portray. So you're getting two storylines at once with
Mm-hmm.
the actual play if you think about it, which I think is pretty interesting. I do think though, if we if we ever got a housewife actual play and you kept the confessional, that would be the perfect mixture of the two genres, actual play and
Mm-hmm.
reality TV. And God, I want that more than anything now.
Mm-hmm.
Be- because I think part of the fun of an actual play is like I know this person's real life personality, and like say what you want to about the housewives, they all have really fun to watch personalities.
Mm-hmm.
So like trying to watch like the show villain play a hero would be
Mm-hmm.
hilarious.
Yeah. And like Candy, she likes to dress up. Like every Halloween, she has these elaborate costumes, and I could see her getting really into cosplaying her character.
Oh my god, that would be so sick.
Mm-hmm. She would kill it.
And listen, it wouldn't be too expensive to make just like a one shot of this to
Mm-hmm. For
prove that it could
charity. Do
work.
it for
Let's
charity.
let's go. Like, I've seen a couple of like drag queens from like from Drag Race do
Mm-hmm.
TTRPGs,
Yep.
and they're really good at it. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's really fun to watch. So I think it's kind of been proven that you could take a group from like one of these shows and put them at the table and get something good out of it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm now rooting on this to happen. I want you to make it happen.
Yay!
Make all the calls you need to. If you need the help, just say the word. I'm down. That would be so freaking cool. Uh, all right. Third question I ask everybody.
Okay.
You are God Empress of the TTRPG space, and you can make any three things happen, no matter how big or how small.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, what do you do with your power? What three things do you make happen in this space?
Mm. Mm. Oh goodness. This is a tough one.
Right?
Other than Real Housewives actual play.
Yeah, that's
Like,
number one,
That's a
obviously.
given. I'm gonna give that one to you for free because I want it.
I would actually, okay, to expand on that idea though, I would
Mhm.
want to be the Andy Cohen of a Real Housewives TTRPG like empire. Like,
Oh my
so
god.
the way that Andy Cohen does the reunions and has like Watch What Happens Lives, I would want like to get every table of I would want to do multiple games where every table was a different cast of Real Housewives. So that
crowdfund it. Let's make it happen.
Did you
I
imagine
think
the
Bravo should just pay for
crossovers?
it though. I don't think the
Yeah.
audience needs to pay for it. I think Bravo should just pay for it and that's it. But yes.
Oh,
So that's number one.
crossovers.
Number two, uh honestly, oh goodness. This is hard to say because I play D&D and I love D&D. And you know, we haven't even touched on like OGL, what's going on with that. But what's weird is like I hear people saying, "Oh, we need to divest from D&D. We need to do this." But then I don't see them supporting those of us who play mostly other games. So
Mhm.
like I think that's what I would change if I was the god empress of TTRPGs. I would say, "Hey, give more watched more of your watch hours of TTRPGs to other games and other systems." Because y'all have been saying this for years. So I actually watched the stuff we all are doing that's not
Yeah.
D&D. And I say that as someone who is recently employed by WotC to play a game, a D&D game. So I'm still going to play D&D, but like, yeah, have people be more diversified in what they watch in the TTRPG space for live
Absolutely.
plays, actual plays. That's number two. And then was there three things what I could do?
Mhm. Yep.
I would, you know, I'm very happy to be a part of this like groundswell of Black and or Latin players. I want that to cross over into Black and Latin communities, like the mainstream of those communities. Like I
Yeah.
want more, I want like Nia Long to be playing D&D. I want, you know, like I want to do like an old heads like Richard Roundtree and and like who are some of those like you know like older like a table of them like I want TTRPGs to be more widely played but specifically in like Black culture and like Latin culture and Latin America.
You know what I would give for a game with the Wayne's family?
that oh my god, they would be so good at TTRPGs. They would have so much fun.
Right. Like, you know who I think would really be great at TTRPGs? I think rappers inherently the skills that they
Yeah.
have, like
Uh-huh.
they have to describe all the things that that they're
Yeah.
doing. And I'm
Mhm.
like, if you put that at the table, I would kill for Cardi B at a table. She would kill it. I'm
Yes.
telling everybody.
Yes. Yep.
Oh
Absolutely.
God.
I want TTRPGs to be, yeah, a more mainstream thing. And I know there are people who are like, oh, but it's ours, my precious. But like, if it were more mainstream, I would have started playing it when I was a kid. I grew up, like I said, I grew up in the hood, and I did not know what D&D was till I was like 27 years old or something, you know? So I want more people to play it early, more people of color, more people in the hood, you know, like I think it's so fun and so engaging and such a great creative outlet, and I want more people to play it.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. And especially getting old heads into it, because I'm like, man, you don't hear you hear the best stories at barbershop. So I know we got
Yes.
storytelling
Oh my
down.
god, yes. I want my mom. I've told my mom like I want you to play D&D at my table someday, and she's like, "What do you mean?" Just because like my mom is such a funny personality. I just want to see what she's like at a table. I think she's gonna be really chaotic. But also she's gonna be both really chaotic but also like probably really strategic. And
Mm-hmm.
here's the thing. I would tell a mom story, my mom lore. Consuelo Kennerly, okay? We went to we took my dad to this, what was it called? I forget what the official name was, but there was a Star Trek installation on some ship in New York, the Intrepid. You know what I'm talking about? So New York City, the Intrepid ship, like the naval ship, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
They did a Star Trek installation that you could walk through, and it was like they created Starfleet on the Intrepid. It was so cool. And my family, we went, and my dad is a big Trekkie. I'm a big Trekkie. My mom was always kind of like, whatever, y'all are watching, it's fine. Guess who did the best in the Kobayashi Maru? Guess who saved the most people?
Your
Consuelo
mom?
Kennerly. Consuelo Kennerly like saved the most. After multiple tries, no one could beat her score. My mom is a Starfleet captain, okay? So yeah, I want to see Consuelo Kennerly at a table playing Star Trek or D&D or some other game. That's number 4 of things I want to make happen.
Love that she's Trek adjacent.
Trek
Not
adjacent.
not really interesting. Goes
She's
into
a
the
prodigy.
Kobayashi Maru and just nails it.
Kills it. She's a Trek prodigy.
I love this. I love this mom lore.
I'm just imagining her stumbling onto the bridge
I know
and going,
the
I can
experience you're
fix
talking
this.
about. I did it. They had a version of it where I used to live at the science
Oh, yeah.
center, and
Yeah.
it is hard. That Kobayashi Maru
Yes.
scenario is freaking hard.
It is. And yeah, you're right. Like, Noir, you're on the bridge. Like, it's an actual physical bridge they've built.
Yeah.
You sit at the controller and you play the simulation of the Kobayashi Maru. And it is hard.
That's
It is hard.
sick.
Yeah. My mom killed it.
Now I want to watch your mom play it again.
Right? Maybe we'll have her guest on. Oh, we haven't talked about.
Well, I mean,
Oh.
that you can drop that right now.
Well, we're doing a little thing, a little Star Trek Adventures thing, Clear Skies Perseverance. And I want to officially leak to the internet that one Noir Enigma is part of the cast.
I'm on the ship, baby. I'm so excited and so nervous. I'm playing a Vulcan, so I'm gonna be stretching those muscles.
Yes.
I love Vulcans.
Official leak.
Yes, you heard it here first, folks. The
Oh.
Noir Enigma is in Clear Skies Perseverance.
I am so nervous.
That'd be great. Please.
Yes, you are. Oh my god.
I can't wait for you guys to hear more about this though, because it's so cool. I did backflips when they were like, "Yeah, you want to be on it?" Like, yes, please. I've been doing a lot of watching the new Trek to get ready for it, and you know what? I didn't realize there's a lot of good new Trek out.
Mhm.
Like, I had a hard time with the first season of Discovery, but every season after that is just gold.
Yeah.
And Prodigy is really awesome.
Oh, lovely. Yeah.
Oh, so Prodigy is really cool. I've got to give Picard another swing.
Mhm.
The second season of Picard is very, very good.
Yeah. Mhm.
Let me show you how much of a sensitive wuss I am. I started watching Picard, and one of the Starfleet commanders started cussing, and I was like, "Oh no, not my Trek, no!"
Yeah. I know that a lot of people had that reaction. I didn't even, honestly, when I watched it, I didn't even notice the cursing until I went on the internet after, and I was like, oh yeah, she did say that.
It's like, I don't give a fuck what you say, Picard. And I'm like,
My
You don't
pearls.
talk
Let me
to
clasp at
Picard.
them.
Let me
You
touch
don't
my
talk-
pips. My pips.
yo, I was so sensitive. I don't know. I feel protective over Trek, so like I was a little worried, but I you know what? I think that's a good question. How did you get into Star Trek?
Okay. So my Star Trek origin story is when I was a kid, My dad watched Voyager, I think, and I kind of watched it along with him. Didn't super get into it. I was a kid. I know a lot of people watched those shows as a kid, but I didn't really get them. I didn't really get into them. I just liked the vibe, basically.
Right.
But then we also would spend every summer in Florida with family. We have a lot of family in Florida. And so during the weeks or overnights we would do at my aunt and uncle's house, they were very like vegan and very spiritual. And so when we were at their house, we didn't watch TV. Like us and their foster kids, they wouldn't allow us to watch any TV except Star Trek: The Next Generation. So I fondly remember being in Miami as a kid, sitting on the floor and watching TV with my cousins. And it was always just like when Star Trek was on, the TV turned on. When Star Trek ended, the TV turns off. And that was it. That was all the TV. And we would meditate in the morning and have vegan sausage and pancakes for breakfast. That was Miami for the most part.
That actually sounds incredibly healthy and good for you.
Yeah, but this was in the 90s. So vegan sausages were not as good as they are now. So they were not, yeah. They were not the good ones. The pancakes were good.
I've never tried vegan sausages, so I'm gonna have to give that a whirl.
Beyond Sausage are very good. I would recommend those.
See, I've got grocery shopping to do, and I saw the vegan burgers as well, and I'm like, I think I might need to try this. I got to change my diet up for 2023. I'm trying to get in paladin shape.
Okay.
Paladin shape.
Nice. I would say make sure you season them, and if you have coconut aminos or soy sauce, those are very good seasonings for Beyond Meat burgers. That's what I would do. And
Okay.
I enjoyed those.
It adds the good umami flavor.
Yeah, exactly. Otherwise, they kind of taste like dog food. Sorry, Beyond. This was going to be an ad for you, and then it just went left. I'm too honest.
Another question: if you could be sponsored by any brand, what would it be?
Well, let me think of what brands I use the most.
I'm not gonna lie to y'all. My answer's probably gonna be something like Taco Bell or something.
Right? Yeah, like what food? Oh, maybe a gluten-free brand then, if we're thinking food. Or like Star Trek shop, because I have so many Star Trek clothes.
Yes.
Like,
yeah.
A lot of my I have like I could probably actually when I went to Star Trek Mission Chicago this year, I didn't bring all my Star Trek clothes. And I still had like all Star Trek, like solid, like 4 or 5 day wardrobe of just Star Trek clothes. So maybe that Star Trek shop. Sponsor me. And also gluten. Oh, Char. I love gluten-free foods, especially baked goods.
See, I need to get on that wave. I just put garbage in my body.
Well, wheat isn't garbage. It's just bad for people who are sick because of it. So keep eating wheat. Wheat is actually very healthy. It can be very healthy.
That's my bread choice every time I go to Papa John's. Not Papa John's. What's the Jimmy John's?
Jimmy John's.
There it is.
Yeah.
I love their wheat bread so much.
Get it. Get that wheat bread.
All right. And last question before we go to break, because we've been at this for a solid hour. If you could replace any franchise, like let's say you want Star Trek to be like as big as Star Wars, you would replace Star Wars with Star Trek. If you could swap any franchise's popularity with another, which franchises are you swapping?
Ooh. Oh, wow. What an interesting question.
Wheat is often overprocessed to the point of losing all its nutrition anyway. Wow, didn't know that.
Yeah, that's right. That's the issue with wheat. Wheat itself is not bad, but it's the way
it's
processed. And yeah. Like a really good whole wheat bread is fine for you unless you're gluten intolerant or celiac, you know? It's very healthy for you. If you're not one of those two things. Or other thing. Oh my God, we could get into a whole thing because if you have Hashimoto's, some people say also autism, like that can make you gluten intolerant, or people who
Wow.
are autistic benefit from going gluten free. Yeah, there's a lot of, it's not just celiac and gluten intolerance.
The science librarian tuned in at just the right time.
Yes, thank you, Miss
Absolutely.
Priscilla. Drop some knowledge. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that.
Yeah. But to your question, I think it would probably be, funny enough, as much as I've been enjoying the Real Housewives stuffs, I would swap like a black and indigenous sci-fi fantasy like Coyote and Crow, or like black superhero comics that I can't think of any of the names of. But those types of things, I would swap those with like Real Housewives.
That's a good one. I've officially changed my answer on this. And
Oh,
I
what is
think
it? Yeah.
I'm replacing Friends with Living Single.
That's a great one. That's a great one.
I feel like Friends gets all the shine that Living Single should have got.
Yeah.
So that's my new answer.
Yeah.
Well,
I
I
like
mean,
that.
right
Anita,
down
do
to
you
the-
have?
No, sorry about that. My answer is obviously nix Watsy and then put something else in its place, like some other like smaller indie publication. Maybe Magpie Games. I like Powered by the Apocalypse stuff a whole bunch.
If I had to do a tabletop answer, I'm probably swapping Watsy with Hunters Entertainment because I really like the Kids on Bike series.
Nice.
I think that's a system that's easy enough for people to get into, and I like the way they treat their community. Shout out to
Nice.
Markia McCarthy.
Hey,
Love
Kia.
one more Kia.
We love a Kia. We love a
Oh,
Kia.
I learned so much about tea from Markia. It's a tea
Tea?
connoisseur.
Like actual tea?
Yes, like
Oh, nice.
actual tea. She introduced me to hibiscus tea,
Yes.
and that was a game changer.
I love tea. I need to talk to Kia about tea. We've never talked about that.
Oh, you gotta see your tea collection. Like it's amazing, and she's got so many kettles and things. It's just
Ooh. Oh my God. Amazing.
that was my favorite part of playing with Marquia. It's just like, what tea are you drinking today? She run us all through it and the health benefits. Oh, really good stuff.
Amazing.
Awesome. So I don't know about you guys, but are we down for a 10-minute break?
I'm
Yeah.
ready to cut to a break if y'all are ready to cut to a break.
Yeah.
All right.
So yeah, we will be back in about 10 minutes.
For the dark roast, which is just what we call the second half.
All right, we'll see you soon. And we're back.
We back. It's like we
Aha.
never left.
And I actually got the timing down on that transition now.
Yes, that was very smooth.
I'm telling you. So we're on the dark roast now, but before we get into that dark roast, I have to ask you, because now we've kind of opened it up with Star Trek Clear Skies Perseverance. You're running the game. Like, what kind of, like, Clear Skies has a fan base, and I can't imagine like stepping into the GM seat. So, like, can you tell us a little bit about what that experience has been like, and like, you know, just not trying to eke out any details early, but you know, tell us what you can about it.
Yeah. Well, first of all, it is never easy to step into Eric Campbell's GM shoes. I've done it before. It's scary. It's not easy because he's so good. But
Really?
the community is very supportive, and I think, you know, it's funny, like when I stepped into Blood of the Void GMing, taking over for Eric, I was a different GM. I feel like just in these 2 years, I have racked up so many table hours that I am eons beyond where I was when I started GMing Blood of the Void. So I definitely feel more confident and more experienced coming into this one.
If I could ask, how would you describe your GMing style? Like, what are some of the things that are most important to you?
Yeah, I mean, and this I also run a lot of private tables, so I don't want people to think this is the same for the private, because it's not. I understand there's a difference between professional performers and
Hmm.
players at a table. There is
Right.
a difference. I don't expect this. I have to say that disclaimer because when I've run private tables, sometimes people are like, "I'm so nervous to play at your table." I'm like, "I'm not, girl, or whoever. I like we're at a private table. You don't have to perform for me. Like, please." So that's why I make that disclaimer, because I don't want people to feel that pressure. But for a professional game, a streaming game, wait, what was the question?
Like, what are some of the things that are important to you
That
as a
are important
GM?
to me.
Like,
Got it.
yeah, how would you describe your GMing style?
My GMing style is I I like to start from the players and the characters. Like, what's juicy for their characters? What is juicy in what they've built? What speaks to me? And then also, I like to pull threads. Like, what do these characters have in common?
Yeah.
What is something that they both can stand against or stand for? Is there something that unites the whole party in that sense as well? So that's where I like to start, just like from the very inkling of creating a campaign in a game. um, Once all the characters are created, you can start to kind of like marinate in those juices of the character creation. And then for me, I love mysteries. I love whether it's like a scientific mystery or political intrigue or puzzly things that aren't necessarily actual puzzles. Like, um, so definitely like a lot of mystery, a lot of role playing. I love it when my players at a professional table, at a streaming table, really embrace their characters and let the characters lead, while also giving, obviously we are at a table where we're having to like make sure everyone is safe and
Hmm.
we're taking care of each other. So being able to rein it in when needed. and
Yeah.
and being able to recognize that difference between just being a chaotic character versus a player who's a little too chaotic. um and then yeah, like I love it when combat serves the story or character growth. I don't shy away from combat, but I usually um I feel like if I'm doing things right at my table, the combat has kind of like sprung up organically and is something that's going to be really interesting for the characters, not just in terms of like, you know battle elements of it, but also like what changes for your character from combat to combat. How do you approach things differently? Is this going to change you in some way?
No, I love that. It's a real narrative focus into like it's like telling a story from the inside out, which I
Yes.
feel like
Mhm.
creates a foundation for some really complex and meaningful decisions, which I
Mhm.
truly like. That's the sort of stuff that gets me excited. Um, you mentioned like you're very you've grown as a GM from the beginning of your GMing career to like where you are now.
Mhm.
I would say if you could go back in time and give yourself any advice when you first started GMing, what would it be?
Hmm. My dad actually, when I first GM'd in 2018 on stream, my dad watched the show and he was like, "You say a lot." I was like, "Okay,
Oh,
Dad. Thanks for the note,
oh
Dad."
no!
And I was like kind of like pissy about it, but he was right. Just yeah, a
How do
simple
you
thing
help
of,
that?
well, it's about taking a moment like I'm doing now, literally. Take a moment before you say something and being okay with uncomfortable. What feels like uncomfortable pauses are not always uncomfortable. We just think they are, and that's why we like to fill up that space with little verbal things, right? so
Okay.
so it's a matter of like slowing down. It really is like a mindfulness thing. If you can like slow down, take a breath, think about what you want to say, or at least the direction you're going in with what you want to say, and then speak, that can really reduce those ums and pauses. And I still say but i
Hmm.
i don't think it's as prevalent as it was when I very first started GMing on stream. Because yeah, I watched back those, like it was I did like the Weave Society. I did a three episode arc with them, and then I did um Oh my goodness. Wow, brain. Oh wow. Y'all, someone in the chat know what I'm talking about? What
Overlay?
did I do? Overlight, thank you. My God, I was like the kaleidoscopic fantasy game. Like my brain could not think of the words. Overlight. We did the Overlight Fractured Paradox campaign, and that's what my dad was talking about when he watched that. And yeah, when I watch it back, like I love the story we told. I loved everything we did there. But yeah, I noticed I wasn't as comfortable with having verbal pauses and letting myself take a moment to think. What's funny too, though, and I think this applies not just at the table as a GM or as a player, but in life. I know if you are a person who interrupts other people, which I have been guilty of a lot in the past, you expect to be interrupted all the time. So that's also what the ums are for, because you're like, I'm not sure what I need to say, but don't interrupt me, don't interrupt. I'm still thinking, wait, That's what it was for me. And so when you can realize, hey, no, they're listening, they're here with me, I don't need to say they know that I'm thinking and I'm going to finish that thought, and just kind of have that trust and confidence. Then you don't need the ums as much.
Well, I would never have thought of that. Yeah. I also want to know, like, coming into this new Star Trek series, like, there's a lot more Trek out now. So, what have been some of your key inspirations for this particular adventure?
Well, funny enough, this particular campaign has as many external to Trek influences as it does internal. So there's tons of obviously the whole setting is Star Trek, and the location is something that is canon in Star Trek Utopia Planitia, the shipyards on Mars. And incorporating the canon history, not just from like the TV shows, like in particular Picard, there was a mention of a rogue synth attack that happened. That is going to be canon in our campaign, like that has happened in the past. And also Star Trek Online, we are partnering with them. We're actually playing this on their channel, Cryptic Studios. Go, actually, everybody, open another window in Twitch and go follow Cryptic Studios right now, because then you'll get alerted when we go live on our show. So yeah, we're gonna be live on Star Trek Online's Twitch channel, and we are incorporating their canon as well, and thinking about, how do those histories and the battles that they have gone through affect the station now, like this shipyard. What is this station's focus right now? Like, what is going to come? What's going to happen soon in this world? So yeah. And then so those are the internal Star Trek references, inspiration. And then externally, I just really love the idea of focusing on blue collar work, and like Rosie the Riveter, mechanics, building ships, breaking down ships. So I watched a lot of these like mega build shows where they're like building a jet plane, or like stripping a jet plane, or a ferry. There's I'm forgetting the names of the actuals, but a lot of them are like mega builders shows like that. Where they get into the guts of like a ferry that goes across the English Channel. They like they strip it, they repaint it, all of that stuff. I watched a lot of those shows to prepare for this show, because I have not seen a Star Trek show or a campaign of Star Trek Adventures that is like super heavily focused on that type of like meaty elbow grease type of work in Star Trek. And of course in Starfleet there's going to be a lot of that work, because we have ships and stations to maintain.
It's like How It's Made Star Trek.
Exactly that, and like a little sprinkle of maybe The Office and Lower Decks.
Love it,
because it's like workplace type of show.
So I guess my next question is, when you're working with something like Star Trek, are you telling an adventure that you've always wanted to see, or is this just an idea that you just kind of come up with? Like, is this something that an idea that you kind of had for a while that you're getting to put into action?
No, not at all. It's a new idea. Yeah. And what's funny is, like, I think people will probably think the idea came from the new Utopia Planitia book. But literally the week before I talked to Modifius about this, I had the idea to have it be shipbuilding and blue collar. And I talked to Eric and Sam about it. And they're like, oh, that sounds cool. And then I emailed Modifius and I was like, hey, I want to do this like shipbuilding type of show. I'm not sure what to do. And they were like, you know, we have a whole shipbuilding book coming out, right? I was like, wait, what? So it totally like just it came together in the wildest organic way, almost like the way Shield of Tomorrow came together.
Yeah.
Where Eric had the idea to do a Star Trek game. He was going to use the old system that was out. And he started thinking about like, oh, I'm gonna do the Star Trek game. He talked to someone at Geek and Sundry and they were like, you know, there's a new Star Trek game coming out. He's like, what? So literally it's like a parallel, it's like history repeating itself with the Streampunks. Like the Utopia Planitia, it became that show from those two different, the ideas coming from two different places and the timing just being perfect.
That's awesome.
It's wild to me that like, that was the idea I had, and they were like, "We have a whole book for this." Like, what?
Looks like you're trying to start an actual play. Can we help you with that? Modifius is actually
Right.
Clippy.
Oh my God, Modifius is Clippy for all your Star Trek gaming needs.
So is there any aspect of the Star Trek TTRPG that like is there any one aspect that draws you into it more than others? Like I know for me, for example, I love the social stuff. I've never really been keen on the ship combat. Not that it's not great or anything, but I just love the problem solving that comes in character moments a little bit more. I'm wondering if you're the same way.
I am. And I have done ship combat. I've run it in a bunch of times. And I decided to put this on a station, on a planet, so that we would have minimal ship combat and can focus on other things. And so, yeah, in a way, I think we're going to be replacing, mechanics wise, we're going to have less starship combat. And we're replacing that with the starship building and
Okay.
like updating, stripping down things. One of our characters, I won't say who yet, but one of our characters is a salvage manager. And so that person is going to be working in the salvage yard, the salvage section of Utopia Planitia, helping to not only strip down older models of ships, but also repurpose parts, like going into the guts and saying, hey, is this, are these parts usable for other ships? And like managing that whole process. So yeah, I literally want, I want this to be super, super blue collar, super elbow grease. I think Eric has referred to it as the spice of life, that kind of thing, like just everyday workday type of stuff. And of course, some mysteries that pop up and some things to discover. Oh, another thing I want to talk about. See, I could go on about this game.
I'm excited to hear it. Like
another thing I'm very excited to explore, and I've already given all of the cast, you know this, I've given you all a heads up. We're going to explore Mars. At least in one episode, we're going to go out and discover what is Mars like, the wilds of Mars. We're on a terraformed Mars where you can breathe the air, but you probably would wear still a suit because there's, you know, environmental hazards like dust storms and extreme temperatures. But otherwise, like the temperature is comfortable enough for humanoids to exist on Mars. What's it like? What's it going to be like? You know, is curiosity still there, sitting like inert, just like a memorial to the past? You know, like that kind of stuff. I'm super excited to explore Mars.
That's so cool. Like, I for those that don't know, Clear Skies, you guys are kind of canon in the world.
Yeah.
Like, your ship exists in the Star Trek fandom. Or Star Trek canon. I've got to ask, what's that like knowing that you exist in Star Trek?
Yo, as a streampunk, I support. I wasn't on Clear Skies as a main like player character, but yes, like the USS Ross being canon in Picard. Oh, when I found that out, oh my, we all just lost our minds. It's just, I don't even know what to say. Like, holy crap.
Right? Oh man, like it's wonderful to see how these games fall into place, and it's really great to hear the connection that you guys have with Star Trek. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, just the fact that you guys are so in sync that you're thinking about building something and they've already started making the book for it. Like
Yeah.
that's good synergy right
It
there.
really, yeah, that's a good point. I never thought of it that way. Like, we do have a bit of a synergy with like Modiphius and Star Trek Online, and they have become our friends. Like, we're really good friends with Thomas Maroney, who is like the lead ship designer of Star Trek Online, and also worked on the Utopia Planitia book. He also designed ships for Picard, Star Trek Picard,
Mm-hmm.
and he did some of that design. And then Mike Fadum, who's going to be our tech director for this show and who leads up Cryptic Studios Twitch channel. And he himself is an amazing TTRPG player and performer and works for Star Trek Online. Like, these are our friends, you know?
Yeah.
And they've become friends over the years because of our love for Star Trek and also our like work either separately, well, both separately and together in these Star Trek properties. Like 2020, we also partnered with Modiphius and Star Trek Online to do the Day of Honor, which was a Klingon, kind of like a virtual conference about all things Klingon and gaming. So Star Trek gaming, but with a Klingon focus. And that was really fun. And then Star Trek Online and Thomas headed up Star Trek Fleet Week earlier, or last year, later in the year, last year, like in the fall. And we helped out. We were a part of that. We were on a panel and stuff. So yeah, we love to work together. And I think there is that synergy in their licensees of Star Trek. And we are like not to sound like, this is what people have told me. I'm not just like being haughty about this, but Streampunks is like, when you think about Star Trek Adventures campaigns, like a lot of people know about the ones we've done. And so we are kind of like, in some ways, the go-to Star Trek Adventures streamers. And so like that, just, I don't know. Yeah, just us having those.
In a lot of ways, the Streampunks are the critical role of the Star Trek Adventures game.
Oh my God, yes! That's awesome.
I mean, it really is true.
It's
like,
very ubiquitous for sure.
I did not realize how much hype there was until like I stumbled upon a couple of conversations on Reddit, and they were being nice. Like,
oh God, yeah, I was like, oh,
I was like, what? I'm not used to this. But
on Reddit,
I've seen a few reviews of my work on Reddit, and they're never good.
Oh God.
So no, I'm very excited for this, and like you've been going to even at a couple of the Star Trek missions, so like you've got a real hand on like on this franchise. Like I believe you've met a couple of cast members as well, like, which. To my everlasting regret, I've not met a single cast member from any Star Trek, and I need to do it.
Oh yes, absolutely. Yeah, I'm friends with a couple of them. Mary Chifo's a good friend of mine who played Laurel on the Klingon Mother of Klingons on Discovery, and then Chase Masterson is a friend of mine, like who played Lita on DS9. And I've met a bunch of others. I realized not the other day, like last year, I realized that I had met almost every doctor, because I've met Robert Picardo, I've met Gates McFadden. I haven't met Bashir, but there was another doctor. Wait, which one?
Alex Siddig is Bashir, but yeah.
Yeah. I haven't met Alex Bashir. I haven't met Phlox. Oh no, I have met Phlox. Wait, yeah, that was the third one. Yeah. So I've met those three doctors. So now I need. Oh, and I've met Wilson Cruz.
Oh,
so that's like almost every major doctor from every series that I've met now.
that's so cool. I've got to put you on the spot. Okay. I'm so sorry to do this.
All right, go for it.
Favorite series or favorite captain?
All right. Oh goodness, this is hard. Okay, favorite series is Discovery, particularly seasons 3 and 4. I really loved when they moved to the future and they were able to just take up space and be their own thing. And when Burnham became captain, of course. And also all the I love their away mission episodes when they're on planets. They do this really well. Okay. So Discovery, but then TNG is still a close second because TNG has my heart. I grew up watching TNG. Like I said, I have those memories of watching it as a kid. And Picard is Space Dad. You know, yeah, those are my two favorites. And yeah, everything else, there are some tiers, but those are the top two.
No, I feel you. I feel you. Anita, favorite series, favorite captain.
Voyager and Cisco.
Nice.
DS9 and Cisco. Like that.
Nice. Okay.
DS9 is my entry drug. I think there's always going to be a little bit of bias with whatever got you into Trek.
Right. Yeah.
It's like, who's your favorite doctor? You know, whichever one you started with is probably going to be the one. So I have another question to ask you. What other franchises would you love to run games in? We know that you're killing it in Star Trek. What other worlds would you like to at some point run games for?
Yeah, well, I tried to pitch The Woman King one shot to Sony.
They should have took it.
I know it didn't happen, but that's okay. Because I'm saving that pitch to do other things with it. And I've gotten to run a Marvel game, which so fun. I decided to make that harder on myself by making it specifically a multiverse game. So every episode we went to a different multiverse. Which, if you're a game master, don't do that.
That was over on the Cookout, right? On Kira's channel?
Yeah. Yeah. Kira's channel, Kira858 is the channel name.
Yep.
But the Cookout is, yeah.
That's our loving nickname for it.
Yeah. And I'm so glad I did it, but yeah, oh my God, it was so much more work than just running a campaign in one setting because every week was a new setting. It was worth it though, it was fun. And then, so Marvel, Morshadi, it was the new, it was the new Marvel system. Yeah, 616, the playtest. Which, funny enough, we were almost through our, I forget how many episodes we did, 12 episode season. And right before our finale, they changed the rules.
Yeah, they updated.
Yeah. So we all were like scrambling, like, so okay, wait, this is different now. But so literally, when you watch our finale episode, some things we just didn't have a handle on yet. So we're like, we're just gonna fudge that. Yeah,
I think that's how you got to do it.
Yeah, it was a play test. It was to be expected. But yeah, hopefully when we come back for season 2, I think by that time the book will be out because it's supposed to come out June 2023, and we do.
I'm so excited. I'm so excited for that system.
Yeah, me too.
I love Marvel more than anything.
Yo, yeah. And then what other franchises? Goodness gracious. I love sci-fi, of course. And I've never gotten to run The Expanse. I know there is a system out there.
It's so good.
Really good.
Really? Okay, I haven't gotten to play it even, like as a player. So I gotta check that out.
It's real good.
Lamar was
I've
in
had
an
a couple.
Expanse game for a while.
Oh, nice.
I got a lot of politics in it, which is my bag. I love that kind of stuff.
Very cool. Okay, yeah, I gotta check that out. I think I have the game. I think I downloaded it, but I just haven't cracked into it yet. And then I've been sitting on Hellboy for a while.
Ooh.
Yeah, the 5e. I have it. I've read it.
I didn't know there was one.
Yeah, there's a 5e adaptation of Hellboy. I wanted to do like a dungeon crawl, like a Hellboy 5e dungeon crawl. And I've never run it yet. I haven't gotten to do it, but someday.
I actually just stumbled upon a system last night when I was in a session 0 because we were actually deciding what we were going to run. And what's it called? If you wanted to run something that's not D&D but for that same flavor, Abyss is an action horror role-playing game where you play like a BRPD style, like and the art for it is very gender, and it's very, very good. We basically spent most of last night thirsting over the art from this book and not piecing it together. But yeah, I'd recommend that too if you wanted to do something that's not Dungeons and Dragons related. With that
Okay.
same
I will
idea.
check that out.
I'm gonna be on the lookout for that because I love me some Hellboy.
Yeah, me too. I love it.
But you know, as much as Hellboy is a good guy, there are bad guys out there. Some might even say
Nice.
that they're
I like that transition. Good
that
job.
guy. You know,
Nice transition.
I do work. So that brings us to our stable question. This is the question that we always ask, which is, if you've been in the tabletop community for long enough, you've probably had the displeasure of sitting at a table with that guy. If you're unfamiliar with what a that guy is, that is a black hole of fun at table. Somebody that if they were yeeted into the sun, your experience would increase 100-fold. So, have you had the displeasure of sitting at a table with a bad guy? And would you mind sharing that adventure?
So I have. I'm going to be very diplomatic because
It's the best way to go about it.
I told you I'm good at being honest and diplomatic. So I'm pulling the diplomatic card right now because I know there's two in particular I can think of, and if I talk about them with any specificity, they'll know. And I don't want that smoke. I just don't want to deal with that.
Nobody needs extra stress. We're not trying to bring no stress here.
But I will say, I do have a big rule at my tables, whether it's a professional stream table or a private table, which is you are not allowed. You can do pretty much, when you create characters at my table, I'm like, yeah, do it. You have rainbows for eyelashes. Yeah, fuck it. Like, whatever you want to do, I will probably say yes to it. And we'll just justify it. I'll help you find a way to make it make sense in this world. But my big rule is that you are not allowed to hate everyone and everything.
Right.
Nah. That does not fly at my table. You have to love, or at least respect, your other party members, because I have been at tables as a player, and not even as a GM, because I started like early on in my GMing. I had this rule because I have experienced this as a player, where you're there and one of your fellow players is this like misanthropic, hates the world, hates everything, super negative type of character, and it is not fun. It's not fun.
Yeah.
Y'all, it's not fun.
No haters.
Yeah. And I hate that, like I'm not averse to negativity or conflict. My God, I'm not. I'm from New Jersey, y'all. Like, some people think I am, when they get to know me well, they're like, oh, you're kind of abrasive. I'm like, no, I'm just from New Jersey. So it's not that. It's not like, oh, you can never be negative at my table. No, fuck that. Be negative if you want. But I need you to anchor yourself in why you're part of this party. Like, you have to care about this party to be a part of it. Otherwise, they're going to leave you behind. And, okay, now verging on like some specificity with one of that guys, I will say this. This person ignored signals and like verbal cues from their party members, both in game and out of game, to not do the thing. Very clear signals from the fellow players. Did the thing, and the whole party was just like. And what's great about that moment is that there had been this tension boiling up in the campaign before that, and it needed to come out. And I was doing my best to manage everything. But I'm almost glad it happened that way, because the rest of the party in game told that person's character, like, what the fuck? Why did you do that? You just messed up. We had this whole plan to go this and this and this. And like, they had it out in game. But you can tell it was definitely happening above game as well.
Yeah.
And it just had to work through it. And it became, it kind of was great how it worked out. I think it resolved itself, thankfully.
That's a best case scenario, where it's just like, when there's that nagging thing that's in the room that everybody can feel but no one can define. Oh, yeah. And having the characters themselves address it, that's best case scenario. Especially if that player is receptive to what they're being told.
Yeah. And I think that's when they realized, like, oh, yeah, okay, I hear it now. But it was only after that happened and the players like revolted. Like, they were like, nah, fuck this. Why'd you do that? Fuck you. Like,
Sometimes it needs to happen. Like sometimes
yeah.
you gotta say the thing that's going unsaid, which is
Mhm.
beautiful. I'm glad it worked out that way for you because I've seen it where that
Oh,
it
yeah.
does that does not end peacefully.
In need of a
Mhm.
wake up call, that guy.
Yeah.
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 This is an intervention. This isn't
The
tabletop role
intervention.
playing. This is an intervention.
Mhm.
Oh, but I'm so glad that worked out though. That's a good end to what could be a table destroyer because
Mhm.
there are some habits that players have that are table destroying
Oh, yeah.
habits.
I will say
Oh,
another one for me, and it's a fine line because sometimes it can be helpful uh to be super aware of the rules, but
mhm.
rules lawyering can be very
Yeah,
disruptive.
yeah.
Like,
There's a way
yeah,
to
there's a
do
way,
that.
right? I don't want to say never adjust or like say, oh, actually, I remember reading. Like, that's actually super helpful. But there's a line and it can become
Mm-hmm.
really disruptive and kind of like a morale killer too, to be honest. Because then if you're so focused on the mechanics and the rules and doing them right, you're not paying attention to like what your character needs to be doing and the party dynamic and that stuff. And so yeah, so those are my
Yeah.
two big
Th-
ones.
those are good ones. Those are good ones. And those are good and unfortunately common ones.
Oh yeah, yeah.
In the sense that like you're gonna like if you're in this hobby, you're gonna experience that. So,
Yep. Mhm.
I think,
What's
yeah.
oh
wild
man,
is like to think I hope y'all can say the same too. I mean, just because the kind of players you are, I think this might be the case for you too. But I was lucky that my first table for a long-term campaign, Shield of Tomorrow, was a group of like really considerate people. And we all fucked up sometimes, but
yeah,
we were able to navigate it well and learn from it and adjust and be better because of safety tools and because of just straight up respect, like respecting each other and wanting to make a safe environment for everyone. And when you start in games like that, that's a really good way to start. Unfortunately, not everyone has that luxury, and some people start in really toxic tables and then they take those toxic behaviors, think that's normal for gaming, and take them to their next table. And they have to
yeah.
either be addressed like, wake up call, or they just don't get invited to play anymore. So, not to put that in people's heads. Sorry.
No.
Sorry.
I think no. It needs to be said. I think I've also had encounters where it's just like you've gotta give people the energy that you want to receive.
Yeah,
Uh,
but I agree with that, but I don't think some people even know how to receive good energy. So they don't know how to do
yeah.
that,
I
you
mean,
know?
true,
They're
true.
used to
Like
being treated badly, so then they're like, this is normal. Let's just treat each other bad. Which is,
you,
yeah.
it, at the end of the day, no matter what system you're using, it's communal
Mm-hmm.
storytelling,
Right. Right.
which
Mm-hmm.
does mean you have to know how to be a sociable person, and that's not something that is inherent for everybody. So not every that guy is a that guy. Some that guys are just people that need a little guidance on how to be in a group, which I think is something that can get lost in the maelstrom of emotions that can happen at the table. So that
Mm-hmm.
for sure, that's something that we want to call to people's attention. There's actually another one last segment that I have to remember that we're doing every show now, and I think it's better for it to happen after the that guy, which is this is your chance to platform and show appreciation for somebody in the scene. So if there's someone that comes to mind that you're like, you know what, I think this person should get a little bit more love, or like I just want to call out somebody that does something that you think is respectable in the space. Here's your chance. Like if there's any love you want to start showing to anybody, feel
Spotlight.
free. Yeah.
Uh yeah, definitely Sam Delev.
We love one whole Sam.
I think, yeah, I don't know if anyone here doesn't know Sam Delev or isn't familiar with their work, but Sam is an incredible TTRPG player and performer and producer. Sam always manages to like wow me with just their creativity and their wit and their powerful storytelling and inhabiting the character. Oh, Sam is amazing. Sam is also a wonderful, sweet friend, you know?
Yeah.
And then Sam is streaming right now, so maybe we can raid them after this. I don't know if that is well. Okay. Great.
That was my plan already.
Oh, good. Okay, good. So Sam, you know, I've known Sam since 2017 and played with Sam since then. And they still managed to like completely surprise me and wow me recently when we were in the D&D Beyond disability focused game.
Oh, that was a good one.
So their character in that, and that was called Gail's song, A Dragon's Convergence or Dragon's Convergence. It's still on YouTube if you want to watch it. Sam did a guest character with Abria, and Sam's character was so dope. And Sam, the way they like weaved that character line and intermingled with Abria's character and just revealed, you know, I don't want to spoil things, but so you need to watch it so you know what I'm talking about. But I want to see Sam as more powerful, potentially evil character. Because they were so good at it. And I'd never seen them play someone that was like straight up kind of evil. And it was so good. And the reveal of it was lovely too.
Oh, I 100% co-sign. I just a personal story with Sam. I was very sick for a game, and like I've got this mentality of like I did sports in high school, and so it was very much, you know, next man up, you get on the field, you make it happen. So like I've still got that toxic trait in me, and so I'm like I'm in my seat dying, like, okay, we're gonna just do this game. And like as loving and wonderful as Sam is, they're also extraordinarily fierce. Yep. It's just like, you're going to get some rest. You are out for the day. We love you, sit out. And like and that's not something that I'm accustomed to. And like I never felt more safe and cared for. Like it wasn't just Sam, it was the whole cast. Like you included, you're like, you know, take your goofy ass to bed. Like and like it's just in this space there will be people that will attempt to use you up to push their branding or whatever they've got going. And to meet somebody so genuine, and to meet a team of genuine people that are just like, we care about you and your well-being, the show can go on, go sit down. Like that's special. We talk about that guys all the time on this show, but in there are people that we have mentioned in our that guy segments that, you know, are so obsessed with trying to find success in this space that they forget that people are people. It's very comforting to see that there are still those in this space that remember that people are people first. And that's beautiful. So thank you for putting the spotlight on Sam. I'm also going to put some of that spotlight on you, because I can't tell you how much I appreciated that when y'all did that for me. So just put that out there. Street Punks, just amazing people all the way around. We are running a bit on time, so we're going to start to wind down and land the plane. Before we do that, any last questions, Anita?
Well, there were a couple segments that we introduced, but do we want to do Petty Prime Time, or do we want to just end it on a wholesome note?
No, we can do a little Petty Prime Time. So really quick, Petty Prime Time is if you want to subtweet someone in real life. You can. This is the spotlight to do that. I usually start, to give an example. My petty prime time is, if your brand got big from third party
Let him have it.
third party developers making content, making your brand more accessible and easier to interact with, maybe don't fuck them. Like, maybe don't fuck them over. That's just me, though. That's my petty prime time. I don't know who I could be talking to.
No idea. No idea.
No idea. It's a mystery.
Just go put that out there. Like,
And I mean, hypothetically, if this brand was, you know, screwing over, I don't know, actual plays that also help make them popular.
Yeah, being humble. Being humble is a virtue. Is all I'm gonna say. Anybody else got a petty prime time they want to put in? You don't have to. It's just a segment of the show that we offer. It helps to get things off your chest.
Yeah, I think I do have one. How do I phrase this? Hey, guess what? If you think the Earth is flat, or that humans haven't been to the moon, do you really ever deal with the fact that you just are a contrarian and you like being wrong for no reason? Do you ever deal with that? Just a question to the world.
Why do you like being wrong for no reason? It's the best sentence I've ever heard.
Is it fun for you?
Is it some sort of kink? What's going on
is it
here?
a kink? You get off on it.
Yeah.
Like, oh, humans didn't go to the moon. The moon landing was fake. Oh, like, vaccines don't work. Vaccines give you AIDS. Really? Is that fun? Is it fun for you to just ignore actual
Negative attention is still
evidence
attention, I
and
guess.
science?
What kills me is that they do it on the internet, which exists. You know what? Never mind.
Yeah. No, that's a great point.
Why would you go and be wrong on the internet?
Like, what went wrong that you don't understand what science and fact are? Like, actually, maybe it's comforting to be a part of a cult. Is that it?
Oh God! You know what? I'm so glad we still did petty prime time, because that's something to end on. Do you like being wrong for no reason? Thank you so much for joining us today. This has been an absolute pleasure, and as always, you are welcome back whenever you like.
Thank you.
I cannot wait to play more with you, just in any game, in every game possible. This has been Morning Ritual. I've been one of your hosts, Noir. You can find me all over the internet as TheNoirEnigma. That's Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, and Hive. You can find me later today on Bright Dystopia's channel, where we'll be doing Reclaimers. We're getting close to the end, y'all, so come check it out. Anita.
Hi, I'm Anita, Panita, or Critical Misses online. You can find me everywhere under one of those handles on any social media platform that'll have me. And except Mastodon. I can't get behind Mastodon yet. We'll figure it out one of these days. But you can find me here on Tuesdays with Darby for our 2-player Tuesdays. I'm going to also be starting up our 1-player games on Wednesdays for Solo Act. And also, we've got some more shows coming up in the future pretty soon. We're going to be bringing back a new season of Growing of the Dim. We just did a Session 0 last night for that. And we're doing a horror western this time. So I'm very excited to do some horror western mysteries.
Amazing.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But
And
other than that, you can also find me on a couple other channels. But that's a thing that's coming up later. Aliza, tell us a little bit about yourself, where folks can find you.
Yeah,
what
you
you
can
up
find
to?
me
What you
at
up to?
Aliza Pearl on Twitter, Instagram, Hive, and I signed up for Mastodon and now I can't log back in. So,
Me too.
yikes! We'll figure it out someday, maybe. And I'm also on TikTok, the real Aliza Pearl. And yeah, this Monday, we're back with Beacon on Q Times, 6 to 9 p.m. Pacific. Wrapping up that story. And then, of course, the Mondays following that, the Streampunks moves over to Cryptic Studios to do Clear Skies Perseverance.
Well, Vulcan, y'all.
Yes, Nara's playing a Vulcan. Stay tuned for our official cast announcement coming up in the next couple weeks. And also, we're going to be just popping up in different places, streams like this, talking about the show and kind of hyping it up.
Heck yeah.
Also, this is kind of random, but you can also read a visual novel that I wrote and built called Welcome to the Blood Bar. And it's about a vampire, a newly turned vampire who decides to start a blood bar. And it's on an app called Storyloom, which is like a visual novel / choose your own adventure app where you can build your own stories there. So read Welcome to the Blood Bar and many of the other wonderful visual novels that are on that app.
Heck yeah.
Well, that has been our show. Thank you all so much for joining us. And Aliza, thank you for agreeing to be on.
Thank you so much.
This is so fun.
We're going to go on a raid. We're actually going to go say hi to, as mentioned previously, we're going to go say hi to our good friend Sam Delev over at Delevely. They're playing some Horizon Forbidden West right now.
Yes. Love that game.
Cyberman audio. What?
Uh-oh.
Is it being weird?
Cyberman.
That might be me.
Oh.
Maybe. But yeah, we're going to go say hi to Delevely. Thank y'all so much for stopping by and hanging out with us today. But until next time, the ritual has concluded. Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.